guys, hope all is well. Welcome and welcome back. So I got a few message. Actually, I got this message more than once, and with the vision with it. And to me, it kind of ties into a lot of the messages in the shorts that have been repeated. This is collective, but if you have been seeing the repeated numbers 144 and 1144, this is especially for you. And what I also did is when I got that, I had, because I was going to make it a short, or wouldn't it really intended, or not do it, post it at all. But I said, well, let me pull some oracles on the collective energy. And this shows it's like the same thing on a wider scale, but I'm going to start with the order I got it, because I got the messages and the visions first. Now, what has been coming up repeatedly in all of the messages was, of course it won't resonate with everyone, but a lot of people, you do have people that are in your energy where they can't go with you. The cycle is over with them. But for a lot of people, you have people that are about to come rushing back in. Subconsciously, they know what is about to happen. Now, on a planetary level, energetically, this planet is, everything is right for a serious geophysical event. As you, things have been ramped up. Like I just posted in the community tab, like 21 powerful solar flares within a 24-hour period. Everything is ripe right now for another Carrington event type geophysical thing. And that was in, I think, like 1859. If you haven't, I suggest looking up the Carrington event when the solar flash hit. But that's what we are gearing up for. We have that and the pole shift. For the people who hadn't done the work, right now there is a desperate attempt. I don't know why they're still doing it, but it is a desperate attempt. They are still trying to do a lot of energy harvesting, which that doesn't work. It's not going to matter. You could catch up. You could energy harvest all day. You could catch a body every day. Here's the thing. This is why this is happening this way. In order to make it through that portal, when this happens, you have to operate from your heart center. Consciousness has to calibrate 500. The people who are doing that, they are still operating in their lower frequencies. And let me go, this is what popped up, the message I got and the vision I got. Now, if you hadn't, I'm pretty sure you have heard about the digital ID. Now, we have some countries that already have the digital ID in place. Now, with the digital ID, everything, you can't do anything without it. Your whole livelihood is connected to that digital ID. You can't work without it. You can't buy groceries without it. I mean, you can do nothing. And you're placed on the social credit score thing, to where if you do anything that pisses them off, they could click you off, and that's that. You can't do anything, nothing. You can't work, buy food, nothing. And I think I know it's in an Asian company and country, and I think in India. But I know I saw they kept, when I got the message, they were showing me the video I saw in the Asian country. I'm not sure if that was China or one of them, but they were showing the people that had, I guess, their social credit score wasn't high enough, and their whole livelihood is tied into it. So they were kind of X'd out of it, and it was a growing thing where it's like millions of people, young people, that are becoming homeless and on the street. It doesn't matter how you can't even get in and out of your apartment building. Everything is done with the biometrics, facial recognition, and if your score isn't up to par, you just shut out of everything. And when I got the message, the people who have not, I mean, everything has been hunky-dory. The people who have been constantly harvesting off for other people who didn't want to do the healing. And right now, the people that are constantly trying to swap destinies, they still doing all this thinking they're going to get a fresh start. It's not going to happen, because when you're trying to swap destinies, all these people preying on people's downfall, trying to do this, you are telepathically broadcasting out lack. All you doing, all they doing, I'm not saying you would, but I know some comics do watch me, but all they are doing is have manifested everything being taken from them, because humanity is split in two directions, and the people who haven't done the healing, I don't care how good and how much they racked up doing this, it's not going to matter. Number one, when that flash hits, the grid is done, and when that fries that grid like that, that could be anywhere from months to years for that to be repaired. But even then, it's their realities, it's devastation, and that digital ID being linked up like that. Because the vision I got, it was shown like when I saw like all the people in the countries who had basically just lost everything and were living on the streets. It was weird, because that, now I'm not saying that the people that are experiencing that right now, operate on a low frequency. What I'm showing is that the people who haven't done the healing, that's what they manifested. That's the type of lifestyle and timeline that they have manifested, because you're not going to make it through the portal, because with the 3D collapsing the way it is coming down, things are going to manifest quicker. So the people that are putting all this, that's preying on downfalls, wanting to take from others, the only thing, the timeline they have manifested, where everything is going to be taken from them. So that's why it's been coming up so much every single time, usually in the angel and the spirit guide ones. The separation right now is serious, and to be extremely careful with the people that are coming back, because you have people that are trying to sway people from their paths so bad. And another thing that I see, and this is it's slick, it's orchestrated, but a lot of these hate trains on the world scale, like online and personally in people's lives, you're being asked to please stay out of drama. A lot of these people are being set up like crazy. As far as the gossiping, because anyway, that's a low frequency anyway. But now that's why people are, I know especially it's like that on X, but to make sure, now this is coming from a more governmental level, all of these social media platforms, to make sure there is more gossip, more, because if you constantly talking negative about somebody, that's just constantly, putting out negative energy. And a lot, because even with me, this is happening to a lot of chosen ones now. It could be family, whatever. You have people that are grouping up, ganging up, targeting one individual. source connected individual. But people that aren't healed, that may be connected to source, that haven't awakened yet, they're being baited into jumping on these hate trains with the gossip, putting out that negative energy. And I previously on another video, this is the term that they gave to me, was double dipping. They are pushing, that's why they have so many bots putting out misinformation, because the misinformation is crazy right now. A lot has to be revealed, but a lot of misinformation is purposely being put out with that to cause more chaos, more negativity. And with that double dipping, they already know they're number one, with all that negative energy being put out there, all the gossip and the bots putting out more information, getting more people worked up in a frenzy. They're feeding off of that negative energy. They already know that the people are manifesting the worst for themselves, so they're feeding off of the lush up front when it does it, and when it comes back, and when they end up left, in a lower frequency and manifesting that, they're going to be right there again, feeding off the lush again. That's why they would say they're just double dipping off of people. But either way, it's going to get them stuck. And what I did is I had pulled 6 oracle cards just to see, and it kind of pulled it back on like the wider schedule. At first I got woke, the politically aware. The first thing that came to me was the GOV, and here we have spreading lies, which of course is the bot thing. Now I'm going to give you an example of maybe like spreading lies and deflecting. Now everybody, the files, I don't want anything flagged on here, but with the files that came out, and they're releasing names, but what they are doing, they're being so slick and nasty about it. What they're doing, you have the files where people, not people, people who they're trying to get looked at. I'm talking about world leaders, the people who are actually in the files. And you have people that were discussed by them, whose names came up when they were talking, when those so-called elite were talking amongst themselves. So it's two different things. It's like people who were mentioned were mentioned in conversations that they were had, and then the actual files. So what that has kind of done is get people looking at people they have mentioned. Like they could have mentioned somebody, it was like somebody, they had mentioned something about one of their concerts, but they're trying to deflect it to take the focus off of world leaders and put it on other people. And it's interesting because I came up with the racist card, and an aspect of that is where it's, to me, it is like so obvious, where they're trying to look at people, trying to put it on people to get society to look this way and take it off of the world leaders. This is intentional. This is to get as many people in a lower frequency. They're trying to stop the ascension because, number one, they can't go. They already know this because a lot of, well, let's just say they have different type of beings. Let me put this. One of the cards that came out was extraterrestrial. If you know, you know. But we're talking archons, parasitic, vampiric beings in high places. Another thing that came out was apathetic, could not care less. And it was interesting because this man has a suit on, and to me I was like, okay, more on the world leader type. Now, something else I realized, because I wouldn't go into, you know, agree to those terms. But like with TikTok, their terms, as soon as I saw those terms and the things that you have to agree to, I was like, okay, yeah, it looks like I won't, be going on TikTok, because right now they're so deep in your business to where you're down to your sexual orientation, your political stance, your geolocation at all times. It's just weird terms ever since that switch happened. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm not agreeing to that. So I guess it won't be posting to TikTok anymore. Now, at midnight yesterday on the 14th, I noticed the Homeland Security went into a partial shutdown for funding. And I was like, that's weird. Now I'm seeing just maybe like an hour ago where now Homeland Security has sent court paperwork to Google, Reddit, Meta, all of these places to get full information, names, addresses, email addresses, everything on people who have criticized ICE. So I was like, okay, I see what they were doing with the TikTok. They've already kind of setting things up for this, the social credit thing already. I was like, that's what that is. And this is like the last card that came out is intimidation. Now, like I said, that's crazy. That just came out. I just saw that maybe like, that news just broke maybe like an hour, no more than 2 hours ago, that they are subpoenaed. So that's setting up for that. Like I said, this is 2 different ways, and things are going to get nasty. We're going to see the collapse, but like I said, don't self-sacrifice for anybody, because for it to come up, I mentioned that on the shorts, for it to come up as many times as it does, every time I post shorts, that comes up about getting these people out of your system, your energy, your space, everything, because it's not worth it. We have this planet is locked and loaded. It's about to get interesting, but the people that are number one, don't get caught into this frequency, because a lot of this stuff is intentional. They can't make it through the portal. It's just not going to work. And the people that are kind of, they can harvest all day long, but the thing is, people that's gossiping and all this lack, because oh my goodness, the lack is so bad. Even people that get attention, they get attacked like from all ends. It's like you nothing. They have, not everybody, but they have whittled down consciousness and scaled back consciousness so much in so many people. Anything outside of their self that they see that they don't have, that's attacks. That's operating from like the bottom of the sacral chakra and the solar plexus, and you have to operate from the heart. So you have all of these people around here that's vibrating at like 150, less than 200, and you have to be the 500. At this point, it's not happening for them. If that's where they are, it is what it is. But I just wanted to let me make sure I didn't forget anything with that one, because for me to see it twice and for it to come out like that, yeah, it's time to separate, because that timeline is going to be, it's going to get ugly. And hey, that's what they manifested. I mean, it's free will. That was a choice that they made. But it is what it is. So take care, you guys, and I will see you on the next.